all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Receiver. Gun.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Mike's 50, Mike. Gun. You can't block me. You can't block me.
First down. Here's Cousins. He's got Smith here. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 46-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch time. Tight end right. 4 down. Check. 4 down. Gun. 58 to Mike. 58 to Mike.
To throw, Cousins. Looking deep downfield. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Bailey got the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10, just shy of the 30. They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
A gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
You're mine.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Carr. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
First down, Raiders.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10.
Mike, 93. Right there in the middle, 55.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make this a second down.
A gain of 5 brings up.
Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
That one covers 29 yards, first down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 26-yard line. Carr going to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Carr. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight, because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. And this one is right down Broadway. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, A pretty good success story.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Strip that ball. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Now Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
48. X3. 218. Chopper. First. Bang, 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 bang.
Cousins on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Check 20.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Ready? Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Back.
And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Ready? Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
They'll run with Cook. 5 yards. A good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
It's Cousins on the sneak, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Carr. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Hey, 382, listen. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Black. 15. Danny.
Following the interception, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
And the Vikings, 1st down.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. They go play action. Cousins. He'll buy some time right. Pass incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Strong right, strong right, strong right.
Bingo.
Alert. 3 down. Shit.
On third down, Cousins. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Might have needed just one more block as it stands, 37-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Carr now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he gets it down to the 32. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Second year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, you know, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. Well, now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. Carr completes it, and he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half.
Let's go, baby.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Bailey got the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, That answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr trying to lay one up deep. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play that time for the Raiders, 58 yards. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration and haul it in.
Now he's flushed out left. Now this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more on that one and another first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Here's Jacobs. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's Carr. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal.
Let him know.
From the gun, Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. From 8 yards out, and the Raiders get a score closer. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it makes the score 21-10. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch the run. Slam. 300. Check.
Topper.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run.
Max Crosby on the tackle.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy. because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Starting the third quarter with Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. They can't hang with us.
Throwing on 2nd down. Cousins. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining.
Here we go. Mike 50, Mike 50. Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And it's caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is up to 18 now. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. Ooh, the juke. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And now a hook up downfield on 2nd down. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 43.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Operating from the gun, Carr. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well in attacking the football.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive back, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
You know that they were thinking second half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
50's the mic. 50's the mic.
On second down, Cook.
Come on.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hey, here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And that's caught by Smith. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
They'll run for it with Cook. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because How many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
Check four. Check safety.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Defense all day. 2.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Off the play fake, Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Maurice Hurst busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Flushed out right. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Pulled in at the 24. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Down! You wide 8-8! Check 53! He runs! He's checking! Easy! Kill! Slam!
Throwing on first down is Carr. Going right side here, and that's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
I'm coming for you, son. Mike 55. Hey, 29.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Carr now to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Raiders on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Raiders on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, Jacobs. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Carr. This is caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Kill.
300. Bravo.
Now Cousins. Able to shake him off. Buying time to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
Kill.
Lynch 50. Hey, flipper.
Tighten up.
You draw portraits.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
What we got? Watch out. Check 43.
Hey, flipper. Gun.
Motion. 58, right over there.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Leave it, 48.
They run again on first down. Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Amir Abdullah. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Bailey got the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, it's Jacobs. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're...
He's got it at the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game and fifth on the year. And the Raiders get a score closer. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will get them one closer. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now Cook running right. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Cook.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Oakland, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed it, blinding my dreadlock. In the end zone with the leg dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own this season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever.